Making marshmallows isn't the hard part, cutting marshmallows is the hard part. Hello everyone, thank you for coming or for coming back. Today I am very excited to show you how to make homemade marshmallows. Now it has been very hot this week and that means two things. First of all, I don't want to turn on my oven to make a recipe, and second of all, we have been getting into a little bit of campfire season, and with campfire comes roasted marshmallows and s'mores, and of course homemade marshmallows are so much better than store-bought ones. I know that people like to say this about a lot of things, but store-bought marshmallows versus homemade marshmallows is such a difference. Homemade ones are so much fluffier, so much lighter, and just so much tastier. So all the ingredients and the recipe is listed down below, so we can start making these. So we are going to start by preparing our tin that our marshmallows are going to set up in. This is a 10 by 10 square tin, but you can use a different size. The only thing it's going to affect is the height of your marshmallows. I wanted these to sort of be a square that could nicely fit on a graham cracker because I did want these specifically for roasting and for s'mores. But if you want a very cube marshmallow, then you might want to go with an 8 by 8 tin. But of course you can make these into any size and shape that you want, so the tin isn't exactly important. Now the thing that is important is that you properly prepare these, because as you know, marshmallow can be very, very sticky. So what we're going to do is actually grease the tin, the bottom and the sides, and then cover it in a layer of plastic wrap, and then we are going to grease the plastic wrap. I know that this seems like overkill, but it won't seem like it when you are trying to take your marshmallows out of the tin. So get that all set up and then we can move on to our actual recipe. So the first thing we are going to do is bloom our gelatin. So we are just going to add our powdered gelatin to our water. I like to give it a little bit of a stir just to make sure that everything is nice and moistened, and then we're going to set that aside while we work on our sugar mixture. So in a pot, we are going to combine our water, our sugar, our cornstarch, and our honey, and we are going to put it onto heat at a medium-high heat and bring it up to 122 degrees Celsius. So for this, you do have to cook it to a specific temperature, so you will want a candy thermometer or a digital thermometer like I have, and you're just going to cook your mixture until it has come up to 122 degrees. Once your candy syrup mixture has reached that temperature, you're going to go ahead and take it off the heat and add your gelatin. Now at this point it should be a little bit less liquid and a little bit more sort of a slimy jello-ish consistency, and you're going to go ahead and add that to your still hot candy mixture and stir it and make sure that all of the gelatin dissolves. A quick warning, if you have never dissolved gelatin in a hot mixture, this is not going to smell nice. Just a little bit of a warning. It's not a nice smell. But go ahead and mix that and let it completely dissolve. And then while it is still hot, you do want to work somewhat quickly here. We are going to transfer it to the bowl of a stand mixer and put it on our mixer with a whisk attachment, and you're going to put it all the way up to high speed. Now what is happening here is we are adding a lot of air to our candy mixture, so it's going to get nice and light and fluffy, but then the gelatin is also going to start to work, and it will work to keep our candy mixture nice and light and fluffy, and that's how you get your marshmallows. So if you watch this happen, it'll go from sort of a brownish dark candy and it will start to lighten up gradually until it is a really nice super stiff mixture and it is a really, really bright white. Now here in the last few minutes, you're gonna go ahead and add your flavorings. So for a regular marshmallow, you probably just want something like vanilla, but I have experimented in the past with adding some different candy flavorings, and you can make all kinds of fun stuff like bubblegum flavored marshmallows. So you know that your marshmallows are all ready to go and come out of your bowl when they are nice and thick and white, and they should have very much increased in volume. And you also want to watch that your bowl is no longer super duper hot. When you add in the syrup, it'll be really hot and it'll slowly cool down. Not quite to room temperature, but close to room temperature. As well, the mixture will start to stick to the whisk instead of the sides of the bowl, and that's how we know that it is ready to take out and add to our pan. Now again, marshmallow can be really sticky, so when you're adding this to the pan, I would suggest that you work with an oiled spatula and also try and work quickly so that you don't get sticky stuff everywhere. And all you're going to do is go ahead and pour your marshmallow mixture out into your pan, give it a nice smooth on the top, and then we're going to cover it up with another layer of oiled plastic wrap. Go ahead and press that down so you get a nice even layer, and then you're going to cover up your marshmallows and leave them to set overnight. Now the next day we can come back to our marshmallows and we can cut them. Now I'm going to tell you something, making marshmallows isn't the hard part, cutting marshmallows is the hard part because they are sticky and you will make a little bit of a mess no matter how hard you try, I promise. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and uncover the top of your marshmallow. As well, we are going to dust with cornstarch our cutting board, and we are going to oil a knife so that we can cut these. And you're going to want to dust this with cornstarch. This will stop the marshmallows from sticking back to each other and to everything that you have. Now, like I said, you can cut your marshmallows into really any shape or size that you want. You can do like triangles, or you can use a cookie cutter and you can make little heart-shaped marshmallows if that is what you want. But like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these into little rectangles that are about the size of a graham cracker because I am tailoring these to be specifically for s'mores marshmallows. So you're gonna go ahead and cut these into pieces however you like, and then after they are all cut, we are going to coat them in cornstarch. Now, if you know store-bought marshmallows, then you'll know that they'll have sort of a crust on the outside of them. I'm not sure how that forms, but this doesn't happen with homemade marshmallows, so we are going to toss them in cornstarch to coat, and then just in a sieve, you are going to shake them around to knock off as much excess cornstarch as you can. And this will give a nice coating so that your marshmallow doesn't stick to everything. And after that, you can go ahead and take your marshmallows and put them on a plate or in a container. You will have to store these marshmallows in an airtight container if you want them to stay fresh. So something like a sealed bag or a container is just fine. And these have a lot of sugar in them, so they will stay good for a long time, at least 6 months, honestly. They won't go bad quickly, so don't worry about making too many. And here are the completed marshmallows. They are nice and light and pillowy and fluffy and just marshmallowy. And just to demonstrate, I did torch one for you so you can see that these work perfectly fine if you want to roast them over a campfire, and they also make fantastic s'mores. Honestly, I so recommend that you try making homemade marshmallows because they are insanely better than the store-bought marshmallows. Like, they're not even comparable. So, I hope you make these, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye.